Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Top of the Chops. I'm Joe Garrett from Veevar Guitar. This week our number 1 has already been done, so we're looking at the number 4 single in the UK today, because even 2 and 3 I've done before, so you can check those out on our other videos. But yeah, this is The Box by Roddy Ricch. And before we start, just make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future videos. Okay, so today's going to be something a little bit different again. It's quite a simple chord progression. There's basically 3 chords in the song. Now, with a lot of rap and hip hop songs, the main kind of meat of the song is either a sample or a piece of music, and then you've got some heavy hitting kind of trap drums with 808s in there as well, and then the rapping on top. Now, as a guitarist, I get called into sessions with other producers mainly because I can create a piece of music from scratch, basically. They don't have to grab any samples. That's not the only reason, but it's good to kind of work on something that's completely fresh. And another reason is you don't have to give any publishing away to whoever you've sampled, and that could be a massive amount of publishing or the whole lot. So it's more of a collaborative thing. I use my guitar a lot when I start beats. So as a producer as well, I will literally start the beat myself with a guitar, laying drums on top, and go from there basically. I do sample as well, but that's kind of when I've run out of ideas on my guitar, or I feel like I'm just playing the same stuff over and over again. So I'll go and look for something else. So this song, I don't know whether it's actually a specific sample or whether it's played in as a synth, but it's a revolving loop with drums on top, and then you're rapping. So it's going to be quite difficult to do on the guitar, but the way I'm going to approach this today is to play it as if I'm being asked to play on a live lounge, for example, with the artist. If I'm playing guitar, I'll just adapt to it and kind of come up with my own parts that go along with this song. So we'll have a little play around with the chords, and I'll just show you kind of the simplicity of how you can approach this, and then we'll do some improvising over the top of it. I'll give you a bit of a background on the theory as well. So let's get into it. Also, a shout out to the producers on this song. It's 30 Rock and Dat Boy Squeeze. Okay, so we're going to look at the main parts that I played on my loop pedal in that playthrough there. We will look a bit at the improv, but really it's kind of just giving you the shapes and the ideas so that you can do the improv yourself. Now, in terms of an actual vocal melody to play, there's not much in this, but it's a rap tune, so you get a bit of melody in there, but a lot of the hook is still rap parts. So I'll show you a little bit of it. There is a bit when it comes in, but other than that, it's mainly going to be the backing track parts that I loop. In terms of actually playing along with the song, I would just call it up on Spotify or something like that. We're going to look at doing some kind of playthroughs as well on this channel, but obviously for copyright reasons, some record labels limit where you can watch those videos in terms of countries, and some labels just don't let you play it at all. So yeah, I would just pull it up on Spotify and play along there while you've got this video going along in the background as well. So the first thing to talk about really is the key. We're in B flat minor, and there's 3 chords in the song, and they're all 3 minor chords in that key, which are B flat minor, E flat minor, and F minor. So a big clue of what the key is usually when you see 2 minors next to each other alphabetically, and they're the 2 and 3 chords in the key, which would make it a major key of D flat. But because our first chord is a B flat minor, that is the 6th note in D flat, which is the relative minor. So yeah, our key is B flat minor. And I kind of stick around kind of this shape here, 6th fret on the E string. And if we think of our natural minor from there, when I'm doing my improv and the melody at the beginning, it's all around that sort of area, but I do creep into shape 2 and then even some 3 as well. And I think I go down to some shape 5 down on the 4th fret as well. But the chords, the shapes that I'm using are the top halves of this E minor shape, and then the A minor shape, and then moved up 2 frets. So when I say top half, I'm palm muting and just kind of pizzicato-ish. Along those strings individually, arpeggiating it, and then same with this chord here. But the last note there, I slide in to our next chord on the F minor. Okay, and that's basically our chords there. You can use whatever kind of versions of those chords you want, or any voicings. I kind of like this high up one here as well, that D minor shape, and then we can go to our. So that's really nice, and to be honest, you might want to layer it. You might want to do a low octave down here and then another voicing up here. But that's our main part that is running round. Now, I just do that as a guitar part because I feel it works really well with the song when you play along with it. But the synth or the sample that you're hearing are straight chords, and that's the thing that I put on the end of the loop, okay? So after that arpeggiated part, I'll put my snare in, just on the 2 and 4. And then we have like the bass line riff going under it, so I'm just taking root notes. And the accents are quite important. You kind of want them to hit where, say like the kick drums are hitting. Just try and accent certain things that you hear in the beat, really. That's what I kind of do when I'm approaching playing. Obviously it would be nice to have our E flat down there, but because I'm tuned to standard, I just go up to the 6th fret on the A string. So in terms of the chords that are on top, I do strum with my whammy bar and just let it ring out for the bar. And it's that same chord here, but the top half again, but I'm putting my D flat on top with my little finger. So that's the 9th fret on the high E string, and that would be the minor 3rd in that. And then I take the top half of my E flat minor chord, Now, if you think of doing this the same but pushing it up 2 frets to our F minor, but what I do here is I change it a little bit. I will use my middle, third and first finger on the top part of that chord, and I put my little finger on the 11th fret. Just to put that E flat on the top there, which is our -7. So yeah, it basically makes that F-7 then instead on top. But I can hear that in the sample, so that's why I chose that chord and just let that ring out on top. Okay, so that's kind of our main loop pedal backing track essentially, and then we can use that as a bed to improvise over the top of. Let me see if I've still got it. Cool, so that's there. I've put a bit of distortion on now, or a little bit of overdrive. Change to my neck pickup. That's what you'll hear me do a lot in these videos. The clean parts I have on these two pickups. Just sounds really, really nice and clean. And then yeah, nice woody sound for my improvising. So yeah, on top of that, I start off in the 6th fret. So I'm in my B flat natural minor scale, using fingers and my pick, and just kind of improvising between that, going up to my 2nd position, 3rd and 5th, like I said earlier. But only for little notes. I always stick to kind of shapes 1 and 4 a lot of the time, and then I'll dip in and out of the others. It's just kind of how I play. But yeah, that's kind of the whole idea of it. Now, the melody, one melody that I put in there from the song was this. Just because it's really memorable. It's probably the catchiest part of the song for me anyway, in terms of melody. But yeah, that's 6th fret on the G string. And you almost want to phrase it like he's singing, so I do a hammer onto the 8th fret. And sometimes when he's kind of dipping in dynamics a bit, I'll use a palm mute instead, like the 2nd note. And that last part, I'll go 6, hammer onto the 8 again, and then slide up to 10. And on the same slide, I'll bring it back down to the 5th fret. Some nice vibrato. And yeah, that repeats again, and that's basically it. And yeah, in terms of kind of the rap flow, I do a bit of kind of picking, palm muted picking on these notes here, the 6th fret, sorry, the 8th fret on the D string. So now it's probably not the rhythm that he's rapping, but it's that kind of flow. And yeah, I kind of just riff around that, as you would have heard on the playthrough. So yeah, in terms of the melody, that's all I do with it, and then the rest is some improv. So what I would do is lay that loop down yourself if you can, or record it on some software, and yeah, just have some fun jamming around it. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you next week.